note is that it kind of feels like SereNity usually have average starts. They kind of start to catch up towards the end and then lose on Ilios.
Yeah, well, at least that was the storyline through the first few weeks. Things have gotten a little bit more standard now. They've picked up a couple of wins on control maps, and they've also got a win on King's Row so far in the last 2 weeks. So their starts are not as bad as they used to be, but you're right, generally they have struggled a little bit earlier in the game than later in the game. Perhaps that's a map pool thing.
SereNity on dive here, Jordan. Maybe Dubois is going to get a bit of free reign on the Pharah. We'll see whether there's going to be any choice to swap that out, and knocks the first one down at the hands of Pharah and those rockets. So I would like to see some changes from SereNity to start things off. Don't know if I'm going to get it though.
I think they could still make this composition work, but I do like what PIXL are doing, putting their DPS on the comforts. We know Exos is a very, very strong Widowmaker, maybe even one of the strongest in this season of Contenders. Would be really, really interesting to see how he would go on a top team, just if he only had to play Widowmaker and see what kind of magic he could make happen. But for SereNity, they're starting to fall prey to that Widowmaker magic already, as Exos has picked up a few kills in the last little skirmish.
Yeah,
still alive.
This fight's been going for a little while now, so it's been pretty exciting, but SereNity starting to get the better of PIXL here. The Pharah lasting for a while, but not long enough, Jordan.
The other thing I would mention for PIXL, much in the same vein of Exos being on that comfort choice, Dubois also on the comfort choice of the Pharah. He was really very, very good on the Pharah in the first few weeks that we saw out of PIXL, and that was definitely his best hero. So I think it is like a very, very much a comfort choice for Dubois. I think if you've got a comfort choice for your DPS players, chuck them on it. Exos can't do anything about the pulse bomb, so Nox is going to get the better of him there.
Certainly will, and SereNity now at 26%. The ticks continue to climb in their favour. Look, to be fair, one would expect that they should be able to win here on Oasis, but we're waiting to see what PIXL can do. Again, if Dubois can get some good hits in and the rest of the team is able to follow up, if they don't go down, then it will allow Dubois that free reign to do some serious damage. PIXL now back onto the point, 3 ultimates apiece. Prowler pops Valkyrie here, the support ultimate on Mercy. We'll see whether this plays out for them or not. Dubois also has his rocket barrage available. Exotic running around with his sword out, Jordan.
Yeah.
But perhaps sometimes you want to get a little bit closer than that before you try it.
I like running around with my sword out as well, Ben. But
some people might think that's a euphemism, but Jordan actually does have a giant rubber sword here in the office that he runs around with and hits people with.
I'll bring it out on broadcast one time, maybe on Overwatch Contenders.
No, you won't.
Do my best Genji impression. Just got to learn the words and get some magic glitter maybe to throw up as I pull out my Dragon Blade. But for PIXL eSports, things are going to need a little bit of magic here because they are definitely struggling to capture this point. Dubois with the rocket barrage. Exos over onto the Tracer now as well. Looking to make some damage happen on the flanks, but it really is just not happening. Primal Rage now out from Virginia, buying some space for PIXL, and they do have more or less control of the point, but they need the kills, and the rocket barrage will not net them anything, but bad! He gets 2 Fluoro and Gusto going down.
He does. Forble's going to get picked up as well, and finally PIXL throws all of their money onto the table, Jordan. They says this has got to buy us something, and it buys them a team kill, but now they have absolutely nothing to work with here, and SereNity are at 99%. So SereNity in prime position. Gusto going to have the self-destruct. Exotic going to have the Dragon Blade here. So a lot of work to be done on PIXL's side of things right now.
99% for SereNity, 93% for Exotic. That's the real big ultimate that we're having a look out for. Gusto will throw the self-destruct out, then Exotic will follow up with the Dragon Blade. Look to clean things up. Here goes Exotic though. Oily does get the first, and still no kill yet for Exotic. He's looking for the Zenyatta, but he just can't climb the wall. Unfortunate there for Exotic. Can't get anything done, but it might still be enough here, as SereNity do seem to be winning this fight, and Aki goes down.
Yeah, PIXL just struggling to find the picks. SereNity, on the other hand, they've been slow as well, but a little bit more successful, perhaps. Exotic doing some work. Self-destruct now coming out from PIXL on defense. Won't find anyone. As I say that, it's actually Exotic who gets found at as the mech comes back down right on top of his head.
It's not going to be too pleasant at all.
That's embarrassing.
This is looking pretty bad actually now for SereNity because they've used a couple of ultimates there. They haven't charged much up. Forbles is getting close, admittedly, but is that really going to help them win this next fight when Duboy's got a Rocket Barrage, Virginia's got Primal Rage? There's a lot to defend with now for PIXL eSports and SereNity. They really are relying on Nox to find a kill with the Pulse Bomb here around the back. Ideally, one of the two supports, particularly if Aki goes down before he gets the Transcendence up, that would be a big help, but Prowler as well. Prime
here
target.
we go. Nox ready to throw out a Pulse Bomb, wants to find a big target. Barrage coming out from Duboy, finds Oily, that'll count. Finds Gusto's mech as well. Both tanks essentially down here for SereNity. Dragon Blade comes out, needs to be a big one. Who are we going to find? Answer is no one. Again, unfortunately, Nox still holding onto this Pulse Bomb, Jordan, not needing to use it yet. SereNity looking to grab the point back. Wants to get this overtime successfully in their favor, and it's will tick over from 99 to 100%, as it will do right here.
Good start to the series for SereNity. Quite close, though, for PIXL, and you'd have to think if they would have been able to cap that first point up, it could have been a different story. They were initially winning the fight, but they couldn't get the cap across. A little disappointed to see Exer swapping off the Widowmaker. I would have liked to have seen him have another crack at that, but I can understand why he goes onto the Tracer there. He was just being put under too much Tracer by Nox, too much pressure by Nox on the Tracer.
Yeah.
And this is not really the map that we're going to be seeing a Widowmaker out on, so Exer will probably stay on that on that Tracer.
It was a long game, Jordan.
Yep.
The last game was a long match, and look, takes a bit out of you. Need to find yourself a snack.
I had a nice 10 minutes of sitting down and not talking, but we're straight back into it.
Yep. It's a long day. It's a long day of Overwatch action. Duboy still on the Pharah. Pharah can be quite effective here as well. On Gardens, we'll see what he can do. Maybe a good boot, maybe some free shots from over the high ground. That's not half bad either. But it's going to be SereNity in not a bad position, but they're going to lose the first battle. They lose two, both the supports to start things off. Nox brings it back. That's not half bad, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
I don't think it's going to be enough for PIXL. That is what I will say, as Oily coming up pretty big on the Monkey. I'd much rather see him on the Pig because he was a very, very good Roadhog last week. But Duboy finding a couple of kills there does keep things interesting. Under pressure here from Exotic. And this... Exerst, rather. The respawn from PIXL will come out a lot faster than what it will for SereNity because they lost their players faster, which means as that second fight sort of breaks out, PIXL actually have the positioning. Going to take away the first cap this time.
And again, Jordan, win the Pharah. Kind of gets free reign there in the center. The angles are hard to find as well. Nox here on the Widow, you'd like to think should be able to find, get the better at least here of Duboy, but Pulse Bomb comes through, not going to find anyone. Trying to get back onto the point. PIXL doing what they can to get as many ticks as possible here. 20% right now, 25% even. Duboy going to get caught out by Exotic and perhaps even Oily as well. Virginia doing hard work. Going to see who they can find on the point, ready to go. Primal Rage almost ready. There we go. As soon as one pops it, does the other one pop it as well? Oily trying to get out of the road. Actually, Virginia going to go down to a big shot from Nox, and this should secure SereNity the point. Going to get up to about 50% before they capture it, but that's not that bad.
Wonder what PIXL is going to do to try and counter out Nox now on that Widowmaker. Is Exerst going to go back onto Widow himself, or is he going to stay here on the Tracer? Lots to play with for both sides. SereNity on the defense, looking fairly comfortable, but PIXL already up to 47%, and if they can flip it here, that really puts pressure back onto SereNity.
Here we go, Rocket Barrage ready. Duboy has the shield on him as well, thanks to the Lucio ultimate, but it's far less useful up against the Trance.
Oh dear.
Finds Nox. That's got to count for something, I suppose, but maybe not the trade that he would like to see. Exotic finds Exerst, finds Bad's mech as well. PIXL looking okay here, trying to capture the point back for now. Duboy chasing down the rest of the players. You don't want to get caught inside, though.
Not as a Pharah in particular, because that's going to be easy kills for the Diva, easy kills for the Winston. Gusto, the new off-tank for SereNity. Used to be the DPS player up until last week, where Exotic joined the roster. He did a pretty good job last week, I think, on the old Diva. So definitely going to keep an eye on Gusto this week as well. And of course, Exotic pretty impressive last week as well when he joined this roster. Keep an eye on him again here. Pulse Bomb just about to come up. So all the way around the back of this PIXL eSports roster, so easy pickings for the Pulse Bomb. Aki just gets out of there in time.
Almost. I think was looking for the D.Va, but you know that it's not going to do all the damage that you need. So not always the best choice in that scenario. Didn't find anyone at all, unfortunately. And the ticks going in favor of SereNity once again. Going to get to 99% before PIXL can do anything about this at all. The ultimate's in favor of SereNity. You've got the self-destruct. You've got the primal rage. This is prime position for them to close off Oasis 2-0 right now. Last ditch effort coming out from PIXL. Here we are into overtime. Gusto, as we said, ready to go with that self-destruct. When do you use it? That's the question. Trying to find the Mercy. That would be a great pick. Self-destruct going to come out from one. Finds no one. Gusto going to go and find Prowler. That was the pick they needed, but two
Gusto.
big picks have come out from PIXL. Gusto finds another. Virginia is down. Exotic still sitting here as well with the Pulse Bomb. Maybe it's going to be enough. Looks to throw it towards the D.Va. Finds the D.Va. Good work. And this should be enough for SereNity to close out Oasis.
Yes, indeed. It does look like it's going to be a 2-0 as overtime ticks away and SereNity close it out. Map 1 going their way. Fairly close from PIXL. Good contest. But SereNity, once again, the favoured team in this matchup. We expected them to be able to come away with the win, generally speaking, 3-1, 4-0 probably here. It's not a bad start at all there for SereNity. I think the rest of the maps are going to follow much the same trend, where PIXL will have moments and fights where they can contest, but at the end of the day, the guys on SereNity are just going to have a little bit above what PIXL are going to be able to bring to the table, and they're going to get over the line more often than not.
Yeah, I guess the thing is for me that I don't want to say that I'm happy that the 6th team is the 6th team, but I'm happy that PIXL and SereNity have both had some pretty good play so far this season. Sure, PIXL's not going to make it through to playoffs. However, some of their maps have been half decent, and this is, you know, a reasonable example of that. It's what you want to see. They're not getting entirely outclassed. They're fighting the good fight. They're working through, and they have potential to win, I guess, both of these rounds. Just in the end, SereNity a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I think it's really good to see the teams that are even in 6th place. I mean, obviously the Bin Chickens didn't really get a whole lot done, but I definitely think PIXL is a team that's been able to contest some of the teams above them, which is basically the rest of the group. There's some shining lights in there on the PIXL roster. So I definitely would like to see how this roster could do again as well in the future. And this is really just an opportunity, not only for PIXL, but also for the players on SereNity to kind of show off a little bit. This is your last match in Contenders. Who knows if you're going to be back next season. Obviously, SereNity have kind of locked their place in, given that they've made their way through the playoffs. They'll get an auto berth into Season 3. PIXL are going to have to fight back through trials. But you want to just show off here a little bit. If you're Exerst, for example, pull out that Widowmaker at any possible opportunity. People have been talking about this guy throughout the last 5 weeks of this season and saying this is a Widowmaker that's very, very respectable, especially for a team that's probably down toward the bottom end of Contenders standings. If we even include Group A and Group B, PIXL would be down toward the bottom, you know, 10th, 11th, 12th kind of place. And Exerst definitely is kind of punching above his weight, at least when he's on the Widowmaker, and doing some sort of interesting plays and making things quite exciting for his team and for everyone watching. So you've got to be, if you're a player like Exerst, if you're a player like, for example, Exotic, a new player into this roster on SereNity, you want to really be showing off in this matchup, because this is what everyone's going to be looking at. If anyone's scouting for new talent next season, that's what you're going to be looking at. That's the big point. Even for SereNity themselves, Jordan, last season, they were recruiting to have a shot at Contenders, but they had to play through trials. You know, like it's a tough, you've got a lot of work to do now, and they lock themselves in. That opens up a range of players who maybe would not have wanted to play for them originally. Now they've locked a spot. They know they're in Contenders, so that opens up an entirely different range of players. So even for the players in this team right now, they still need to prove themselves, show that they deserve to be there next season, and earn their spot. Exactly. But Eichenwald is going to be the map of choice here by PIXL eSports, as they did end up dropping on Oasis there, so they get the choice. We're going to see SereNity with the choice of sides. Generally speaking, the team that has the choice will opt to play on the defense. They like to know what they need to do on the attack when they inevitably do swap over. if that's going to be the case for SereNity playing on defense here. We're going to see probably the Orisa composition, maybe just the single healer on Fluoro, which is exactly what we will see. And what I was really wanting to talk about, Ben, is Oily on Roadhog. That's what we want to see. That's what we get to see here on Eichenwald. Let's get the camera on him and hope to see some magic happen.
I like the big Roadhog plays. I like the big hooks, Jordan. They're always very exciting. Particularly behind that Orisa shield. We'll see how it plays out. PIXL on attack, SereNity here on defense. Looks like PIXL going to be going out with Dubois once again on the Pharah. Exotic going to do the same. We'll see who the better Pharah is. The battle of the skies right now. A lot of work still to be done by PIXL up against this SereNity lineup, who are looking pretty good right now in this matchup. And Dubois going to take a shot right to the face. Got to be real careful up against Exotic. Great hook. Finds the Winston. Maybe not necessarily the player that you want.
Yes, it was.
There you go. Bad going to go down. Knock has been picked up by Dubois. It's 1 for 1.
Look at this.
But if you can keep finding the tank, that's the second time that Virginia has been hooked by Ollie. So good. You talked about it, Jordan. This is the plays we want.
Oh my goodness me, man. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Some magic. Oil me up. Oily is gone ham already. He's at 98% of that whole hog. And I'm ready for the large Big Mac meal, because that's exactly what Oily is bringing us right now.
Pretty excited, aren't you? Whole hog ready already. We're about 1:10 into this round, and he's already got it available. Doesn't even need to use it. There we go. Throws it out, looking to find the picks. Virginia, the first one to go down. Baubles going to get picked up by Exhurst. And Dubois actually
it's over, Ben.
Be able to clean him up.
It's over.
Like a bin chicken went and stole your burger.
Yeah. I don't know if Oily's going to be playing Roadhog here into point B. Yeah, he's going to be swapping off onto Winston. Fun's over, everybody. We got to see a little bit, so that was all good. But PIXL, you've ruined my fun by capping point A. At least they're going to get to continue on through this map. And
well,
I guess...
yeah, that's fun.
Hold the press, hold the press. Just because we don't have Oily on Roadhog doesn't mean too much, because now we've got Exhurst on Widowmaker. So, we've got a little bit more fun, just of a different variety.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up, Jordan. I'm sure everyone at home was very confused by what on earth you were talking about. This is a pretty crucial point here for PIXL. They've got the oldie advantage. We'll see what they can do with it. See how far they can progress the payload towards point B. Exotic going to be up here on the Pharah still. Still has this rocket barrage ready to work with as well. As for the rest of SereNity, Jordan, because so many of them swapped off, all their ultimates are very, very low right now.
Yeah, Nox does get the better of Exhurst, but so far they're one apiece, at least on this map. Exotic on the Pharah. Don't often see that on the defensive side hanging around. I wonder if Exotic's going to swap back off onto something else here, or if he'll stay on Pharah. But at the end of the day, it's working out for SereNity. They've already held PIXL back at that gate for a minute or so. And so far, PIXL have not invested too many ultimates into this push just yet. Exotic indeed will be swapping off onto Genji.
That's the swap.
But Dubois has got a 50% advantage.
Oh wow, Prowler goes down. That's a big pick from Forbles. The only one that can't be rezzed on the team is the Mercy. And look at this, 3 big picks coming out from SereNity. Make that 4, make that 5 without having to use anything. PIXL starting to stack these ultimates. They've had them here for a while now though, so they need a good initiation. The longer they wait, the more ultimates that SereNity get to use with on the defensive side. And considering they wiped across a number of their heroes, starting off again, transitioning over, every second that SereNity can hold is a pretty big deal for them right now.
Baubles almost up on that Transcendence. Will be pretty critical here for SereNity, especially when Dubois does throw out that Dragon Blade. If he doesn't get chased down by Oily first with that Primal Rage.
Look, not even needing to pop it right now. Gusto finds both Dubois and XS. Both of the attacking DPS players here for PIXL go down. Virginia has used the Primal Rage, and that's it. So still 4 ultimates available for PIXL, but they're not getting any room. They're not making any ground, Jordan.
Not much. They're up to the bridge, but that's sort of another little bit of a choke point in itself if it does get stalled there, because the SereNity players can just reset. They're going to hold this high ground once again. Look at the dive that they want to throw out right now with Gusto, Oily, Exotic on the bottom right of your screen. They want to jump right on top of Prowler, and that's exactly who they'll find.
Big picks from Pixel, but two big picks coming back the other way. What can Duboy do with the Dragon Blade pushing through? Finds Nox, that's pretty crucial. Looking to find the Winston as well. Exerst actually going to be the one who's successful, but Duboy still goes down to Oily. The payload continues, 150 on the clock. Ever closer. Exotic needs to get back up.
He's going to die though.
Oh, caught out by the D.Va.
Caught out by the Winston as well, and that's not who you want to be caught out by. Really bad time for Exotic to get picked, because now it's 5 versus 6. Pixel going to have a really free time, actually. It doesn't look like SereNity going to have a great time contesting this, but Forbles, Transcendence, it's important, but Exotic here with the Dragon Blade, he'll be the difference.
Self-destruct goes through, won't find anyone. Exotic ready to go, as you said, with that Dragon Blade. Duboy's found one, Forbles goes down. Gusto picks up the tank. Exotic trying to hold onto the blade for as long as possible once again. Is it time to pop it? There we go. Are we chasing the Mercy, or are we chasing the D.Va? D.Va first, Duboy second. Wants to clean up the rest of the team. No, drops back for now. No, there we go. There's Mercy. Watch out.
Don't walk on that trap.
Yeah.
He's only on 80% HP, or 80 HP I should say. So, doesn't want to be giving a free kill over to Exerst there. A little bit invested in though by SereNity, and not a lot by Pixel. This time, it's Pixel's turn. And it's really on Nox here looking for picks with the infra site. Exerst has his up as well, but there's not anything else for SereNity really to find an advantage here, except maybe Valkyrie, but that's really used just to keep Fluoro alive. And Pixel have got heaps to work with.
Yeah, well, they're already onto the payload as well. Pixel in prime position to find point B. Let's see what they use to make it work. Oily's out of the picture right now as well. Duboy with the Dragon Blade finds Forble. He's down. One less support to work with. Looking for the baby D, but that'll be the second one. Fluoro's gone down. Gusto's gone down. Nox brings it back, but it won't be enough. Pixel successful. Point B is captured. Point C now the target. They have 1 minute 35 seconds on the clock. This is definitely enough to make it happen. SereNity change it up once again. We've got Oily on Ryan, Gusto on Zarya. This is not a bad team comp, to be perfectly honest.
No, definitely not. These enclosed kind of fights definitely going to be nice for the Reinhardt-Zarya composition that SereNity want to run. Duboy, having swapped over onto Junkrat, might also feed up the energy, but Nox is the one on Junkrat that we should be talking about right now, because he is pumping out the damage.
Certainly is. Bant lost his mech. Oily's gone down. That's a 1-for-1 tank trade. Knocks out as well. Now that means that Pixel have the advantage pushing through. Look at how much ground they have made. This is some insane play coming out from them. Great time on the board as well, considering how well Oily started off on defense on point A. Last-ditch attempt. Forbles throws out the Zenyatta and the Trans. Virginia goes down. Now life's going to be a little bit tough for Pixel on attack. Duboy picked up as well. Dragon Strike is used. I don't know if that was the right timing to be sure, Jordan, but they have one more shot at attack here.
That was so very close to Pixel just pushing it through. 1.09 meters is what they needed. I thought SereNity actually getting booped off was just going to be them not being able to get on the point and contest that for overtime, but now SereNity pushing on forward. Oily needs to back out here. His shield getting quite low. Virginia does have the Earth Shatter, so the shield important, but Oily, I don't know if he got it down in time. Doesn't look like too many people were affected by the Earth Shatter though.
No, here comes the Graviton Surge, and as well, the tie goes down. Oily throws it through, picks it up. Riptire from Nox, that's another one. That one won't find a kill either by the looks of things. Forble finds Z, but Gusto goes down. SereNity, two players down. Pixel in prime position right now. As you said, someone has to be on the point. Exotic with another Dragon Strike, throws it through. Big plays, Virginia down, Duboy down, both of those to the hands of Exotic. He'll find Prowler as well. Transcendence is the last hope here for Pixel. The point is contested, not for long. SereNity able to hold strong right at the death knell. So very close. A lot of work though now for SereNity to get all the way. They need to cap all the way through to point C here on attack.
Really, really nice Earth Shatter out from Oily there. Good timing for him to come up on the Earth Shatter as well. PIXL, they had enough to kind of work with there, but they didn't get the value out of the ultimates that they threw out. The Riptide was broken down by Oily with the Fire Strike, and we also saw Earthshatter didn't really get too much done there for PIXL. So two big ultimates, two playmaking ultimates that don't necessarily have the impact there for PIXL to push on through. End of the day, those 66 meters, you're basically at that third point. But for SereNity, this means if they cap out, they win the map. They don't have to go to overtime, anything like that. They'll be pleased with that. And going to be running, once again, the Orisa Hog combination on attack. We'll get a little bit more Oily here on the attacking side on the Roadhog. I'm happy. PIXL, what are they going to be doing here? Messing around. That's very, very hilarious. I would like to see that composition. I don't think it would work. Symmetra obviously still on the old patch as well. No teleportation just yet.
However,
well,
Jordan,
technically, but
when we get into playoffs, that'll be interesting.
That's a very, 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 very big change up.
Yeah.
The whole meta is going to be different. We're going to have Wrecking Ball. We're going to have the Sombra changes. We're going to have the Symmetra changes. We're going to have the DPS changes.
Yeah, lots of things changing up.
The support changes.
Yeah,
they haven't come in yet, I don't think.
So, did you see that play? I saw a play on Reddit where they're on Rialto and Wrecking Ball's sitting into point A, ready to swing across the bridge and knock people off. And Symmetra comes in from behind and hacks him as he starts to swing, and he falls into the water.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, that was a good play. That's what I want to see.
Exotic in the air here to challenge Duboy as well. Knocks on the Hanzo. Not always easy to hit the Farah and
when I said
combo with
Symmetra,
Hanzo.
I mean Sombra. Too many S words,
Yeah.
mate. Too many S words. Long day. So, SereNity pushing through behind the Orisa shield. But it's going to go down to start things off. Oily looking for a hook. On attack, maybe a little bit more difficult to find the hook that he wants. One more second, it'll be up again. But without Orisa, yeah, he could find maybe Exhurst here if he's lucky, but it does not even matter.
Yeah, it was too late. It was too late. It was a good hook, and he got him in a good position, but there was not enough follow-up. He obviously couldn't one-shot Exhurst on his own. Because there was just a bit of a bubble there that might have blocked a couple of the shots. Exhurst.
Boom.
That's what we want to see. That's what I was talking about.
Big play.
He's been a little bit quiet, I think, with the Widowmaker so far in this series, but that's more like it. He's actually been in my stream, Ben. I've been giving him some tips.
Oh, really?
Yep.
He's been bagging you out for being bad.
No, he actually said my Widowmaker was really good.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's good. That's nice. I mean, maybe he just, you know, he says nice things to you on your stream in front of 2 people. You say nice things about his stream in front of 2,000 people. That's the trade-off. 2 big picks in a row here from Exhurst. And Duboy is going to follow it up with Forbles going down every time this Orisa goes down. Every time there's no more shield, Jordan, the attack starts to fall apart and they have to reset and start again.
Yeah, Exotic not too keen on the Farah anymore. He's decided that Genji be the option of choice, and that'll result in a few more changes from the rest of the SereNity roster. Oily looks like he wants to stay on Roadhog, maybe because the whole hog is available, but no.
Oh, yeah.
Going to swap off. It's full dive now for SereNity. This is going to work much better. They're just going to get in there, try and catch out one of the supports, maybe catch out Exhurst, steamroll the players that are on the ground, and ignore the Farah. Deal with that afterwards.
Got to be careful. Can't ignore him like that. This is insane play coming out from Exhurst. Finds Oily, 2 awesome shots. Gets the kill. Finally goes down to Forbles. Gusto going to be chased back, however, here. These should go down. Self-destruct actually going to come out. Where are the kills? Not going to happen. So PIXL on defense doing okay right now. Exotic doing what he can to push on through. Primal Rages pop. Duboy up in the air. Got to be careful. Got to stay out of range of that Genji and can do it. For now, the ticks coming through, but it should not be enough here for SereNity on attack. All the players from PIXL starting to come through. Forbles finds one, Nox finds one, and well, Duboy going to go down as well, so it wasn't enough before. It should be, however, enough now.
Yeah, PIXL buying themselves another 20 seconds there or so, which is not too bad of a result. They didn't really invest any ultimates in. Duboy, he's got the Rocket Barrage on the defensive side here. Again, I don't think that he wants to stay on that Farah too much longer. He'll just use the Rocket Barrage and then probably swap off. Knocks over onto the Widowmaker as well. Will definitely make his life a little bit less pleasant. But if Exhurst can get the better of Nox, then Duboy, he might be okay to stay on the Farah. Unfortunately, at the moment, it does seem like Nox is definitely getting the better of Exhurst.
You can hear the Dragon Blade. Where are the picks? That's the real question. Exotic trying to chase them down, looking for the Widow. Doesn't find the Widow, Jordan. So that's quite big. I think maybe Duboy stole the kill in the end. No, went the other way around, actually. It was Exotic. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't get the result that they want. And PIXL still strong here on defense. Nox looking to find a pick, looking to see if there's anyone there. It's a difficult position to play from. The angles are tough. You need the rest of your team to push out and just find you a little bit of room to work with. Virginia's going to go down there to Oily. Nox trying to find the kills, needs to get out of any sort of dangerous situation. Infrasight now available. That will at least help. Duboy going to go down there to Nox. That was a big pick. Look, you can find the shots, Jordan, with his sniper rifle. A little bit more difficult maybe with the hook.
Yes, indeed. Well, Nox is definitely having a good day on the Widowmaker. And that's making life a lot more difficult for PIXL because big proponent generally of their success is getting the picks in the Widowmaker duels, and Exest hasn't really been able to find them consistently against Nox. It's in fact been the other way around. SereNity getting some free push-up right now. Lots to play with going into what would be the next fight, and probably the fight for point B. Exotic wants to charge up the Dragon Blade before this one does start off, but even without it, Transcendence, the 2 tank ultimates for SereNity, they can definitely make this work.
Self-destruct from PIXL on defense, looking to find some kills, won't be successful. SereNity will retaliate, but it's Exerts finding the kills. Bad will lose his mech.
Oh dear,
thought he was
Oily.
safe. Oh, there we
just
go.
Gets out in time. Lucky
Rocket
that the jump resets a little bit quicker when you're in Primal Rage.
I think you save a whole 2 seconds, so it makes it pretty useful.
That was a heart stopper for a moment for him.
Yeah.
He was very close. Very, very close to the death area.
Not even like you need to make it all the way to the bottom, Jordan.
No.
Just the point of no return.
Yep.
So, as you can hear, 60 seconds on the clock. SereNity looking far less impactful here on attack than they did on defense. And PIXL, flip side, they're looking pretty good right now. Yeah, Exotic, we missed the Dragon Blade. He had it there ready to go. I was about to say, well, it really needs a big play.
Did you see that?
A big play.
Because I think that might be a play of the game.
As long as it's not
even
just on the kill feed.
It.
Yeah. Maybe Observer 2 caught it. Maybe.
Let me ring up my good friend Ronald.
MC, please.
Well, for SereNity, it's going to allow them a little bit easier push on the way through here, but PIXL still looking to contest. Virginia leading the charge. No ults on either side just yet.
A Valkyrie from both sides as PIXL flow onto the payload. They want to stop it here. They don't want them to be successful in capturing point B and restarting the clock here for a 3rd and final push. Bad's going to go down. This ain't looking so good for PIXL right now. SereNity doing what they can here on attack and looking like they're going to be successful one by one. PIXL trickle onto the point. Again, Virginia is back with the Winston. Virginia surely goes down. Excess surely goes down. The overtime ticks away. But SereNity are successful. 90 seconds on the clock. Well, they essentially need to get it all the way around to the end here, Jordan. Not
an easy task with only a minute and a half left on the clock, but SereNity, they could definitely do it here. Changing things up very quickly onto the Reinhardt, onto the Xayah, onto the Junkrat. Keeping Exotic on the Genji because he does have Dragon Blade available. Tools are there for SereNity, especially when Forballs does get this Transcendence up. If he can get that before Duboy throws out this Dragon Blade, which he won't. 94% for Forballs. Exotic shuts him down.
Wow, big plays coming out from Exotic. Duboy picked back up by the scruff of his neck here by Prowler, but I don't know if it's going to be enough this time around. You can see that SereNity have all of their team alive, pushing through behind Oily, who's doing his best to stay on his feet. Gusto trying to help out as well. Gusto on 100% energy. That's a pretty savage looking Xayah right now. Looking to find his counterpart. Almost goes down. Does go down in the end by Exers. And PIXL, of course, they have this spawn advantage. Is it going to be enough?
Well, I don't know about that. SereNity, they have 20 seconds left on the clock. Here comes a Riptire from Nox. This could be absolutely massive in the grand scheme of things. Doesn't quite get the kill that it needs to. There's a lot of armor on the side of PIXL now with the rally coming out from Exerst. And SereNity, I don't know if they're going to be able to do this. It's a good Earth Shatter, but it's not good enough. There's a Graviton Surge out from Bad. Looks like we're headed towards one apiece now, Ben, as PIXL should be able to close this one out. SereNity need a massive ultimate out of Exotic,
wow.
but it's not going to be there. The time is not available for him to charge it up. Overtime will tick away. A great Earth Shatter out from Virginia. Well, he does get it in the end, but look at what he has to deal with. Absolutely no chance.
Knocks the last one onto the point. The last one to go down. PIXL will be successful on defense. And after all of that, they pick up Iconball. Congratulations. 1 apiece. SereNity going down. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Big plays.
I thought they'd be able to get it done.
Big plays.
They would, but they really got stalled up in the second part of the map. Even the first point, it took them a little while to catch point A. So all in all, SereNity, we know that they're a decent team, but we know that PIXL can have their moments. I spoke about it already before that match started. As that match was playing out, PIXL have got some good players on their roster. If they can start going pretty crazy, they can really challenge SereNity here. And you really, as SereNity, don't want to be having too much trouble against PIXL, because remember, in playoffs, they're going up against Drop Bears.
Well,
so if you can't dispatch of PIXL, what hope do you have against the Drop Bears?
Yeah, look, it's a pretty good way to work out just where this SereNity lineup is. And to be honest, it's nice to see PIXL doing well, but it does not bode well for SereNity right now, going up against probably the top team in the region in the Drop Bears, Jordan, heading into playoffs. A couple of good Dragon Blades across Iconbold. A couple of less good Dragon Blades as well. That certainly was not one of them. Oh, Exhurst was actually quite impressive on defense, wasn't he?
Indeed. Big fan. Made life very unfortunate for poor old Exotic there before he swapped off onto the Genji. All in all, though, good performance out from PIXL. Want to see more of that. Like I said, we get to see them next season. They could definitely be a strong contender. But for SereNity, they just want to make sure that they close this series out, make sure that they get 2 maps on the board, 2 wins on the board. Sorry, not that it matters necessarily as far as the standings are concerned. They're still going to be safe in 4th place, whether they win or whether they lose. But it would be kind of a nice cherry on the cake. You say, okay, we lost 3 tiebreakers, but we won both of our other matches. We had a really good season, especially compared to their performance last season. So it would be just a nice little present, wrap it up with the both.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering you lose 3 to tiebreakers, you come back through, you win the next 2, that would feel pretty good. Even if the results don't get you the points that you want, the games themselves were pretty good. So that is what SereNity is looking for. On the flip side, PIXL, they brought it back to 1 apiece. They want to grab a win onto the board, and if they do that here, that's not looking so good for SereNity right now. 1 apiece heading into halftime, our last regular season matchup here. A quick break. When we come back, or Overwatch Contenders Australia.